Hi, I'm Mark from Maya,
Hi, I'm Misha from Periphery.
and you're watching
Guitar Messenger.
Yes. I want to outdo everything we've written so far and make our next album like over the top.
That's awesome.
That's my goal.
That's a tall order because I think that it was that amazing step up from Common Man's Collapse.
Oh,
Personally,
thanks,
I think it was very mature, very well arranged, very well thought out. The riffs all have their logical place, and everything flows, which is such an important thing to me. Like arrangements and how songs flow. I feel like a lot of bands nowadays tend to just jam really cool riffs together with no sense of purpose. It's like, why is this riff here? What? And I feel like on id, there's this real sense of like, this is a song. This is a really good song, and it has impressive parts. But you almost start to take the impressive parts for granted because you're just listening to the song as a whole rather than like cool riff 1, cool riff 2, breakdown. It's like it starts to just become its own entity, which is personally what I enjoy in bands and what I look for. So you're definitely on the right path because I know that you are personally one of my favorite guitarists out there. And that's a fact. Because you're so creative in your approach and you just write ear candy for I think we have a very similar sense of like
Flattering.
what sounds good. But of course, man.
But love you, man.
I love you too, bro.
You're like one of my favorite guitarists too.
Oh, you don't have to say that. I think if you just continue in that direction and continue progressing and maturing in the way that you did between those two albums, like your next album is gonna be like perfect. It's gonna be like by far the best thing you've ever done.
I'll be showing you clips. You better give me some advice.
And there you have it. If I don't get them, you know who to talk to.
Yeah. What about you guys though? You guys have.
We're always working on stuff. We have an EP that we actually pretty much just finished. We're doing some final tweaks on it. It's going to be a bit of reworked stuff from the album, a bit of stuff that was very hard to get, like some of the imports and B-side tracks that were like basically impossible to get with reworked vocals actually, so they sound like much better, and like some new stuff too. And it's we're doing this remix competition. We're putting it out there for someone to remix our song "Icarus Lives." So the winner is going to be on our EP. And then we are working on an album. We're working on our album, second album, which is like pretty much written for the most part.
What?
Because we have too much material.
Didn't your album just come out like a few months ago?
Yeah, we have way too much material. I'm trying to get like all the old stuff out so I can like really start working on new stuff. But there will be some new stuff on this too. So it'll be a mix of old and new. Like, we have too much material for traditional album cycles. So this one's probably going to be like loaded to the brim as well. Expect a nice long album and EP. We just want lots of music out. I don't know. I just want to like work on like new stuff,
That's the right kind of mentality, and our fans also have extreme ADHD, like really, really bad.
I swear, like a month after our album came out, they're like, "So when's the new album coming?" I'm like, "We released it a month ago." They're like, "Yeah."
It's like it only took me about 10 minutes to write that last album, so let's do another one.
No, it's quite a process though, man. Doing an album is stressful, but I just want to get it out, I don't think any band like looks forward to going into the studio. They just look forward to the end result, Studio's so stressful, man. Like, it's probably doing the Periphery album for me personally was like probably one of the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Like, would you agree with that sentiment with your last album?
Yeah.
I know you were on a like tight schedule.
Yeah, writing it, like we just had to. It's just like, are we really going to record? Yes, we are. And then so it's like 2 months to like
figure
put it all
everything
together.
out,
Like put
from
it
beginning
all
to
together.
end.
Yeah.
It's like when you've got deadlines on it, like it just starts to become really stressful. Whoa.
Huh.
I discovered a button on this. And we were talking about the fans being ADD, but look, now this is about Boba Fett right now. Look at this. What is it saying?
We will finish this fight. Surrender.
All right, sorry. This is just way too entertaining. All right, and back to where we were. Here, you get the question mask. There we go. Now he is the question.
It smells good in here. We would just like to say that we hate you.
Well, I'm just kidding. And we are the same person since we're both brown, so I just canceled out what you just said.
Oh,
But no, we love you. But seriously, I don't know. I don't think any band is a fan of a label. It's like, personally, I work so hard. And I know this guy works so hard to like try to do something that sounds good and sounds like ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, people like to label things into tiny, neat packages that way fits in your brain with everything else you got up in there. But like, I mean, I can't say that I'm a fan of any one of those terms, just because it kind of narrows what is expected of you and what you can do, and it's kind of a way to limit what you sound like. It's like, well, sure, someone wants to know what you sound like in like 3 words. Well, there you go. But chances are you're gonna listen to the music and you'll be like, oh, that's not necessarily the best word. If I had to describe our music in any way, I'd say probably progressive metal, you know?
Yeah.
Probably the most broad term.
Like metal or progressive metal?
Or just like aggressive progressive music.
Like rock?
Progressive aggressive, there you go. And that even has like some sort of rhyming scheme going there, so we could go with that. Progressive aggressive.
Yeah. The thing that like bothers me the most is that those terms weren't invented until after all of us were bands. And
Yeah.
like we all started our bands before we knew each other too.
Yeah.
So it's like none of this was intentional.
We weren't like, hey, let's be a Sumerian core band,
Yeah.
just like that band that is not signed to Sumerian yet, but will be when we are.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like, it didn't happen like that, and it's interesting because, I mean, I look at the bands on Sumerian and they all sound very, very different to me.
Yeah.
And I love them because they're very talented, but they all sound so different. So lumping them into one category maybe is a very broad term, but I don't even know exactly what that means, other than you happen to be signed to Sumerian Records.
Yeah,
you
like,
know?
I mean, I'm proud to say we have a good label that is very selective of the bands that they sign and isn't only looking out for profit. You know, like they're signing new, unique,
Talented
bands that are like doing something new with the genre, and like I think the fact that they got a good majority of the bands that are doing something new with it, like people just started labeling it as a subgenre.
And then there's this whole gent thing, which, you know,
that's all you, man.
I get blamed for this. I didn't even come up with a word. Like I've said this a million times, but Frederick from Meshuggah came up with it. I used to post on the Meshuggah forum, right? And that's where I picked up the word, because people are describing guitar tone. It's just a palm mute. They pick really hard, and I really like the way it sounds. It sounds metallic. It's like gent, right?
Is that the one where they like stack the
yeah,
power chords?
where you play
Like
four notes
Yeah.
on the power chord, and we do that. So like,
I remember reading that. Now.
and I was yeah, exactly, right. And that's where the term originated. So I just heard about it, and I was looking for gear that was genty. Like, oh, are these pickups genty? And like, for some reason, it caught on, but completely in the wrong way, because people think it's a style of music, and they think that it's a style of music that I play.
Dude.
And there's a misconception, because like, I guess low-tuned open note syncopated riffs are now called gent riffs, even though it has nothing to do, because a lot of gent bands don't even play that gent chord or even do that sound. So it's very ironic how that worked out. But
just blew my mind right there. I just had a vivid memory of like, None by Meshuggah, that EP.
Yeah.
It has a song that's like
Yeah.
There's one part it's like jun 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 jun. There's like playing a guitar solo.
Do you
It just sounds like
do you know
just saying
Aztec two-step?
Yeah, yeah.
That
Jun,
song.
jun,
That's
jun,
just
jun,
gent.
jun.
Oh, yeah. It's like, listen. Gent,
Yeah,
gent, right? You want to hear what gent actually is? That is what it actually is.
Get None by Meshuggah.
None
right
by
now.
Meshuggah, which you should have anyway
Yeah.
if you have like a pair of ears and a soul.
It came out
But,
like '94 or something.
Yeah,
You
it
should
came
get
out probably before a lot of you guys were born, before I was even born myself. So that term is very limiting to, because like I feel like a lot of bands just focus on that open note syncopated sound, and like I know that personally neither you nor our band like does just that.
Yeah.
Like it is part of our sound, and it's a sound I like a lot. But I wouldn't want to limit my band to any one sound. And if anything, with our debut, like we tried to cover as much ground as possible, so in the future we could expand in many other directions, and it wouldn't be weird.
Yeah.
And you guys have expanded a lot on your
Yeah,
sound.
we did that too, kind of like.
And I mean, that's because no musician wants to be limited to any one thing, at least in my opinion, I wouldn't want to have to write one style of music for the rest of my life. So that's why those labels don't really apply, because neither in our past work nor in our approach to future work are they extremely relevant in any way.
Yeah. We're going to be holding hands on an island with lots
How many
of
kids will we have?
with 14 brown children.
14 brown children. They'll look exactly like both of us, and
They'll all play
we won't
guitar.
even be able to tell them apart because we know that we all look the same.
And they will write all of our music for us.
They will write all of our music, and we'll just kind of chill out. I don't know where I'll be for 5 years. That actually would be pretty good to be there 5 years from now. Probably won't end up being that good.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. What are your goals 5 years from now?
I don't think I'm going to stop making music regardless of like what genre it is I'm writing.
Yeah.
But
I think that's kind of a given, man. Especially
Yeah.
someone of your talent. Like, you're obviously put on this earth to play guitar and to write music, you know? Like, I don't know about you, but like me personally, that's the only thing I'm halfway decent at. And like everything else in life,
I'm not even good at video games really.
Yeah, I'm not even good at.
love them.
I enjoy video games. I'm terrible at video games. But like, but I feel like this is the only thing that like I'm halfway decent at. So like, it's really the only thing I could do and enjoy. And if I wasn't doing this, I'd probably just be trying to do this.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd be like working a job I don't like, thinking about doing this.
Yeah,
every day.
exactly. Basically, that's pretty much my take on it too. So we've agreed we'll do music 5 years from now. Maybe possibly collaborate at some point. How about we make that a goal, huh?
All
Yeah.
right.
What do you guys think? Yeah, they even want it. Do you hear that? That's great.
Do it.
And yeah, just hopefully progress and be like sort of further up the ladder than we are now. Be nice to do this for a living and not have to work a job when you get home. That'd be. I don't know if you have to work when you get home, but
I don't anymore.
you don't. That's a big step.
I have a very
It's a big
cheap
step in
cheap rent in my apartment. And
Oh yeah,
I
well,
just-
no one in a metal band lives a very glamorous home life. You know,
No.
it's just in between tours. If my band personally could be at the point where we don't have to work, and we could maybe make enough to like get by, and this would be our job, a legit job. We take home money every year. That'd be an amazing 5-year goal for me.
I think as soon as you drop that EP, things are gonna be a lot different for you personally.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I
Your
hope.
debut album
Knock
sold
on wood.
a lot. That's like amazing for a debut album.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Thank you, forum and online people for supporting us. You have helped us come a long way.
Yeah,
Seriously.
definitely. That's like why our
got
genre
very,
of music
very lucky.
is doing anything.
It's because of the internet.
Yeah,
it
it
really
is.
is. It's like kind of an internet genre. But that's the game changer right there.
Even torrenters. If you're downloading our CD, you better like show everybody you know, or else like
Yeah,
you'll be
don't
upset about
torrent it and keep it for yourself. The least you could do if you're gonna download our album. Of course, our label's not gonna like this. So sorry, Sumerian. But to those who are going to torrent, no matter what, first, please do buy the album if you like it. It would be nice to get a little bit of support there. Please come to shows and talk to us and buy our merch because that's a lot of help too. And please spread the word because that's like the most important thing.
Yeah.
Spreading the word. Like if you're gonna download an album, and you're not gonna pay for it, and you're not gonna support in any other way, the very least you can do is just spread the word about us because that way they'll probably get around to people who will spend money on us. So
Oh, another
you can kind of
generalization.
sleep at night on.
I just remembered like another generalization is that bands don't make any monies off of album sales or something like that.
Yeah.
Like kids are like they don't make any money anyways, and like that may be true with certain labels.
Certain labels.
But we,
I'd
our
say
label,
Samaritan's pretty good about
yeah,
that.
they take care of their bands. They
Samaritan
want
does
their
take
bands
care
to
of it.
survive.
So it actually does make a difference for us. And next time that you're
Yeah.
thinking like, oh well, I'd rather just do this or whatever, because they probably won't see any of the money. It's not true. We will see the money, and it does help us. And as much as I love giving music away for free, and I do, because
Yeah.
you go to my SoundClick, www.soundclick.com/Bulb. You can download like 150 songs for free. I love it. But like to be able to support this career and be able to afford to make more music in the future, we need to have like some sort of standard of living. And I think that's a misconception there because
Yeah.
people seem to be on either side of the fence, like it's a black and white issue. Like, oh, well, all you care about is money, you're just selling out, or you should just give it away for free. It's like somewhere in the middle. Like, I like giving music away for free. I don't like charging for music, but at the same time, in 2010, there's no realistic way for me to even consider making a living without having an album out that's for sale and selling merch. So that really does help us support us to carry us over to the next album and the next stuff that we'll release.
I mean, like, say you're a band that's like people are downloading, but like maybe you sold like 100 CDs your first week. Like, if you're trying to get on big tours, like people look at numbers, to like get you on big tours. And if you want to see bands that you support, then like buying their CD helps them get on to bigger tours.
Absolutely.
It'll increase your chances
it really
of seeing
does.
them live.
It
Even
really
like,
does help. We are younger guys ourselves. Look at us. You like what you see? Come talk to us about gear. You know, I know there's a lot of advice that I wish I had when I was younger, so what would you tell a younger self?
One thing I noticed about some young musicians is that like they have this attitude where it's like if they can't do something right away, then they just give up on it, you know? And like, I don't know, it's hard to stay motivated, but like the can't do it attitude just like it's not gonna fly, you know? Like you have to.
Not in this industry.
Yeah, it's like if I can't do something, I will stay up for like 3 weeks every day trying to learn how to do it or something like.
And that's the difference between the people who make it and the ones who don't. And they always say practice makes perfect, but I think the other half of that is persistence, you know? Like, because it is tough and it's a very hard thing to do. And in any capacity, not just learning the songs, but touring can be really hard. You know, aspects of touring and being on the road and being in a band can be very stressful. And you have people who quit after that, and those are the ones who don't last, and then you have people who persevere, and those are the ones who do. So that's definitely very, very good advice.
Yeah.
Stick with it. And on that note, I think it's time for Misha, Mark, and Boba Fett over here, who's breaking slightly.
I'll fix it.
We can fix Boba Fett. It's all good. It's time for us to say our goodbyes. So thanks for watching, guys.